right, hi Linda. Colin here. I'm your nephew. I hope you remember me. It's been a little bit. I haven't seen you for a little while, but I know that you would be good to get in a little bit of mobility and movement stuff. And I'm a yoga teacher, and so I thought maybe I could help with that. So I'm gonna do just a quick little 10-minute movement and mobility chair workout for you. And I'm gonna put it up on YouTube, and I hope that you can find it, and I hope you enjoy it. If anybody else happens to watch this who is not Linda, welcome. No, you're absolutely happy. I'm happy to have you here as well, but just know that I will be referring to my Auntie Linda from time to time, and because this video is specifically for you, Linda. But any of your friends who want to watch and join in with you, I'm happy to have you here too. So what I want you to do though is start off with a metal chair. So if you don't have this, probably pause the video. And what I want you to find is any kind of like a folding chair like this. So probably there's somebody who can help you find something like that. It doesn't have to be metal, but what we want is a chair that's like not like a soft reclining chair. We want something a little bit more upright. And when you sit in the chair, what I want you to try is like scooching a little bit away from the chair back. Let me show you. So rather than sitting like this with your chair, your back against the back of the seat, what I want you to do is just scooch a little bit away from that chair back, just so that you're using muscles in your back to hold yourself a bit more upright. And expect maybe that some of the muscles in your back are going to get a little bit tired over the next 10 minutes or so. When we're finished, you can rest. You can just lay back down, lay back into your seat and relax again. Now, really simple movement here. What we're going to do is lean a little bit towards the front. Now notice when I lean, I'm not just leaning my shoulders forward like this. I'm leaning forward from my hips. So I'm taking my hips and tilting them forward. And what's happening is weight that was here in my butt, I'm moving forward towards my feet. Now, you can rock forward and rock back. And just nice and easy, rock towards the front, squeeze your hips a little bit, and then rock towards the back and rest. You can also rock towards the front, use your hands, use your feet, give a little bit of a push, and start imagining we're going to start lifting ourselves up and away from the seat. Now be careful because you might actually go too far, right? So I don't want you to like lean too much. You press down into the feet, start lifting the hips just a little. So is your butt gonna come right up off the chair? Maybe and maybe not. Maybe we lean, we think about kind of pressing the feet down, getting a little bit of a lift, but not much happens. And that's okay. We're gonna get those muscles of the legs sort of working a little bit, yeah? So just a little bit of work, leaning forward and leaning back. Simple as that, okay? Now good, that's enough of that. I'm just gonna turn so I'm facing you again. So there's a little bit for our legs and our hips. What I want you to do is to stay away from that chair back though, not back here. Come away from away from that chair back a little. Now a little bit for the shoulders. Interlace your fingers like this. And now just push your palms towards me like you're trying to crack your knuckles. Mine actually cracked. Push your arms out. See if you can get the skin in your hands to stretch a little bit. It actually feels kind of nice. Stretch the hands out. And then just nice and slowly start thinking about reaching them up overhead. Don't worry about how far they go. It doesn't matter at all. Just stretch them up a little bit. If they go further, let them go further. If they go further, let them go further. If they go even further, let them go even further. Stretch up. But it doesn't matter. You could be here, you could be here. Wherever you are, take a breath or two. Just relax. And now take the hands apart and let them come right back down onto your legs. And just for a moment, notice how your shoulders feel. Notice how your arms feel. Sometimes it's really quite nice. It's a very simple little movement, but it feels pretty good actually. All right, next one we're going to do, what I want you to do is to take your right hand, okay? We're gonna put it behind your back. And what I want you to do is imagine as though you're gonna like scratch an itch on your back. So you just take one hand, doesn't matter which one actually, one hand. Bring it around behind your back. Just slide it in there. Now, when that hand goes behind your back, lift up your chin, take your chin down, lift up your chin again, take your head over to one side, take your head over to the other side, and now just move your head around a little bit. Just relax your neck, let it roll around. Get that arm out of there, put it back down onto your leg, and again, just take a moment. Notice how things feel. Sometimes pretty good. Like sometimes simple little pose, but it feels nice. Let's do the other side. So take the one you didn't do, put the other one back there. Give it a breath. Bring your chin up. Bring your chin back down. Take your head over to one side. Take your head over to the other side. Now just move your head around. Breathe. Relax. It feels good just to do something so simple as to move your neck around. And then slide your arm out of there. Both hands back down onto your thighs. Take a breath. All right, now let's do a little twist. So I'm going to get you to take one hand and just bring that around behind your back. I'll show you from the side what that looks like. So you'll take one hand, bring it around behind your back. Now it can just go down onto the chair behind your back, or you could reach around and actually grab that back part of the seat. Then with your other hand, reach over across your body to your knee. So I've got one hand behind my back, one hand going across my body over to the outside edge of my thigh. Now really, really easy. I'm just going to take a breath in and lift my chest up. Now I'm going to take a breath out and just turn and look out over my shoulder as though somebody called my name, and I'm like, who said that? Right? So just a simple little look back behind you. Don't strain, don't go for a really, really big stretch. Just have a really gentle little twist, an easy little look back behind you. And again, take a breath. Breathe in, lift your chest up. Breathe out, let your chest drop back down again. Do it again. Breathe in, lift your chest up. Breathe out, let yourself relax back down again. Now the next time you breathe in, untwist yourself and come back around to the front. When you get back around to the front, just notice how you feel. You're not looking for anything really big and dramatic to happen here, hey? It's these subtle little things that you're like, yeah, no, that feels a bit better. Like, that's nice. I like that. That's all we're looking for. So let's do the other side. So we'll take the other hand, bring it around behind your back. One hand goes over to the outside edge of your knee, so I'm crossing across my body over to the other side. I take a breath in, a little lift. I take a breath out, and looking over my shoulder like, who wants me? Like, who's calling my name? Who's back there? So just sort of take a peek back and look. Couple of breaths when you're there. Breathe in, lift up with your chest. Breathe out and relax back down again. Do it again. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, relax back down. And then release out of that twist, come back to the front. Now, maybe your back is starting to get a little bit tired because you've been away from this chair back for a while. Let's take a little bit of a walk back so that your back can actually go up against the chair back. So now, just sort of leaning back and relaxing and enjoying yourself. But I want you to imagine as though somebody said, hey, what's that up there? And you're like, up where? And you're like, further, directly up over your head. oh, way up there. So I'm taking my chest, lifting it up, and actually sort of rolling back a little over the edge of that seat. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit of a back bend here. Now, if you want more of a back bend, when you look up and lift up with your chest, take your arms and just stretch them out to the sides. Enjoy that. It's kind of like it almost takes your breath away sometimes. You'll be like, whoo, like it's hard to breathe. So if you do that and you're like, oh, hard to breathe, come out of it, take a breath, go back in, come out, go back in. Oh, so nice. So a couple of those. Oh, and back down. All right. Now, a little bit of movement for the legs. Okay, I don't want to do a lot here, but we're going to get in a little bit. So again, I'm going to show you from the side, just so you can see it. I'm going to wiggle forward again. Goodbye to the chair back. I take one leg, and I'm just going to extend that leg out a little bit. Now, I don't need this leg to go straight. It can be like straight-ish, kind of straight, that works. If I wanted to, I can squeeze it straight, and then I'm going to be stretching out my hamstrings at the back of my leg a little bit more, and I'll leave that up to you. If you want to keep it bent a little bit, keep it bent a little bit. But what I want you to do is actually take your toes and pull them back. So instead of pointing your toes and bringing them down onto the floor, lift the toes up and pull them back towards you. And now, do you remember the thing we did at the start? When I was like, lean forward as though you're going to sit up. We take the hips, lean towards the front, and kind of lean into that leg a little bit. Get a little bit of a stretch in the hamstring. You can take the back of this knee if you want, kind of press it down, let that stretch out a little. If it hurts, if you do that and you're like, oh, that's terrible, just lean back. Whew, you can bend the knee, let that leg move a little bit. Try another little stretch. If it starts getting annoying, if you're like, oh, I hate this, switch legs. That other leg hasn't really had any stretching yet, so take the other one out. Stretch that one out. Take the back of the knee. Try pressing it down a little bit. Try lifting it up a little bit. Try leaning a little bit further. Try leaning back and just relaxing for a second. And then lean back into it again. And then all the way back up. Okay, last thing I promise. So really simple one here. All we're gonna do is imagine that you are so tired, just so tired. So we're gonna lean forward. This time, instead of leaning forward and taking the hands down onto the thighs and practicing that little lift, we're gonna lean forward, drop the elbows down onto the thighs. Then you're going to take your head and just let your head relax down. Now imagine your head gets heavy and just sort of drops. So you release the head down. Now, if it feels comfortable, if you feel like, that's not a stretch, I could do way more than that, you can let the elbows come off the thighs, and let them release down a little bit towards the ground. Let your arms start to release and kind of hang yourself towards the front. If you do that and you're like, it's too much, like I'm having a hard time breathing, I don't like this as much, climb the elbows back. Just go back to here, hanging the head down, soft neck, soft shoulders. And then nice and slowly, lift yourself back up. Take your hands down onto your legs, push yourself up nice and straight. And I know I said that was the last thing, but I wasn't entirely honest. This is the last thing, okay? What I want you to do is to sit up nice and tall, relax your shoulders, relax your eyes, relax your jaw. Take a breath, and really, really soft, like really subtle. Think like the Mona Lisa. We're gonna have just a tiny, tiny little smile. So up nice and tall, Long spine, soft, relaxed shoulders, tiny little smile. Couple of breaths. Just breathe, smile softly, sit up tall. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little yoga practice, Linda. If you have anything that you want to work on, if you're like, that's too easy, make it harder. If you want to stand up more, we can do more standing things, and we can kind of use a chair to stabilize a little bit. We can do whatever you like, and I'm happy to make another video. If you like this one, you can watch it again. And if you were watching with Linda and you're practicing along with her, that's awesome. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I'll make some more of these ones, but you can practice this one a bunch of times. So practice it as much as you like. And for Linda, I love you, and I hope you